Hey everyone, I'm Chris, and this is Cue the Credits. Welcome back to Cue the Credits, the home of everything boutique Blu-rays, physical media, and the art of collecting. In today's video, we are talking about the brand new 4K limited edition Steelbook release of Edge of Tomorrow, or Live Die Repeat, kind of whichever title that Warner Brothers are deciding that they're going to be using this week. Because Lord knows, the Steelbook's got both titles on. But honestly, it kind of feels like we're last year again where I'm critiquing Warner Brothers Steelbooks because I've got some really mixed feelings about this release. So today we're going to be doing an unboxing of this release, talking about the picture, talking about the audio, the special features, and whether it is worth you upgrading from Blu-ray or the standard 4K to this new 4K limited edition Steelbook. Released in 2014 and directed by Doug Liman, Edge of Tomorrow stars Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt in a semi-futuristic setting where aliens have invaded the Earth. Realistically, Edge of Tomorrow is a sci-fi war movie spliced with a time loop movie. And straight off the bat, I can tell you that it still holds up 12 years later. The action's great. It is paced fantastically well, and Cruise and Blunt both do brilliantly in their respective roles. And it's one of those films that has become a modern sci-fi favourite. It's why people speak so highly of this film. And of course, why people want a lovely 4K release. So enough talking about it. Let's unbox this limited edition Steelbook, shall we? Let's unbox this then. So first up we have got the J paper glued on, which is just fabulous, and let's have a look at that to start with then. If you have seen the standard Amaray release, this is all going to look very similar to you because it is exactly the same. Let's have a look at those text specs there. If you want to pause it, by all means, feel free. No Dolby Vision and only Dolby Atmos on this, and this is the special features that you get. And more. There's not really that much more. So let's get rid of that to start with and take a look at this design. So this is the same design that we had on the Ultimate Collector's Edition outer case. So technically this is a new design for a Steelbook. That edition had a different design on the Steelbook, but this is exactly the same as what was on that outer cardboard case. So we've got Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat, Live Die Repeat, Live Die Repeat. It's a pretty cool scene. You can take these off if you want to. There's a reason why I haven't. You'll find out about that in the next part. Onto the spine, just Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat. It's a pretty uninsulting spine to say the least, but yeah, nothing really to it. And then on the back we have the mimic there, which is pretty cool, but did we need all of this? Like, it's kind of ruining the design. Opening it up, this does seem to like kind of follow on, but I feel like the spine throws you off slightly. Like you can see there's a mimic just here which feels like it gets followed on, but yeah, I'm not too sure. I feel like Tom Cruise looks a little bit gormless there when there's a mimic standing right there. Come on, Tom! Onto the inside now, we've just got the standard black 4K disc, and then the same repeated on the Blu-ray disc here. So, and then on the inside, try and not get a load of glare, and you can see the like mech suits, or the you know, the rear of the mech suits. It's not just because there's a lot of light here and there's like double of me. This is a really dark picture on the back. Could have been really cool. We could have had like the beach scene that was in the previous Steelbook. That would have looked pretty cool. I feel like this is just a bit too dark to really appreciate. And that is the 4K limited edition Steelbook of Edge of Tomorrow unboxed. Let's talk about the picture and audio quality, shall we? I mean, it's a fine looking Steelbook, isn't it? It's not bad, but it's not Great. One thing that I do need to mention before I get into the picture and audio quality is the disc that I received within this Steelbook was experiencing quite a few skips during playback. Now, to make sure that it wasn't my 4K player, I tested it in an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5, unfortunately having skips in the same areas as well on those. So unfortunately, this is going back to HMV for a replacement. I'm hoping that it is just a faulty disc, but it would be remiss of me not to mention the problems that I've had. Visually, Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat, how does it look? Well, this is the same upscaled 4K presentation that was available in the 2022 standard release and the 2023 Ultimate Collector's release. It's all right. Like, we're 4 years removed from those transfers. Technology has improved. Warner Brothers could have done a new transfer on this. Of course, it was shot digitally, hence the upscaled 4K aspect rather than, you know, an original camera negative transfer. But it kind of feels like Warner Brothers are just chucking out a Steelbook release because of the physical media boom that's happening at the moment. Comparing it to my previous copy, which was the 3D release in this Steelbook, which is quite a nice design, to be honest, but it's just a standard Blu-ray and 3D disc. You do have noticeable detail improvements over that standard Blu-ray disc. The image does look cleaner, and yes, the HDR does highlight certain things, but it doesn't have Dolby Vision, it doesn't have HDR10 plus, so it does kind of suffer on that side of things. Like, there's some brilliant outdoor shots which could really get just bumped up with some Dolby Vision or some HDR10 plus. Like I said, it's fine, but it's just not a massive leap. One thing I did really notice with this transfer though is how dark it is. Like, there were certain scenes where I was like, can someone turn a light on, because I can't see a thing in here. But it kind of feels like a trade-off, because some scenes look absolutely fantastic. The beach landing, for example, just looks incredible. Even with 12 years ago CGI, it still holds up. So technically this is the best that Edge of Tomorrow has ever looked at home, but it's not a reference quality disc visually. Audio wise though, this is where it gets pretty good. So of course I watched this with the Dolby Atmos track, and well, it's a war film. So of course it is just like helicopters all over. It's going crazy. Even to the points where you're in quieter scenes, like at the base, but you're getting all the little bits of the mech movement and everything like that. This is what Atmos was made for. The surrounds were going crazy. The overheads when there's helicopters and planes flying over and missiles. Ho, 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 ho! If the visuals aren't reference quality, this Atmos track is reference quality. As for extras, everything that comes in this package as an extra is housed on the Blu-ray disc, and that Blu-ray disc is literally a carbon copy of this Blu-ray disc. The only difference is they've made this Blu-ray disc black and this Blu-ray disc is blue. So if you've ever owned Edge of Tomorrow on Blu-ray, you're getting all the extras from this 4K release. There is nothing new on it. You've got some behind the scenes featurettes, you've got a lot of Doug Liman sitting in a chair talking about the film, and some deleted scenes and things like that. Once again, feels like Warner could have put some time into this. Like, just give it to Arrow. Like, you've already got a relationship with them. Let them do something good with this film. Because this Steelbook just kind of feels like a cash-in. Like, did you really need to re-release it in 2026? So let's talk final thoughts. Is Edge of Tomorrow worth picking up in this limited edition 4K Steelbook from Warner Brothers? And is it worth upgrading from the Blu-ray or 3D Blu-ray, or even the previous Amaray 4K release? Quite honestly, it is so hard for me to recommend this release. It retails for £30 in the UK, $40 in the US, around about that. And quite honestly, the only thing special you're getting is this Steelbook. Everything else is exactly the same as the standard Amaray release. Like, it's fine, visuals fine. I would have liked them to have gone back and put in extra HDR support, that Dolby Vision, that HDR10, or at least get some new extras out. The audio is of course reference, but you know, that's been the same for the last 4 years since Edge of Tomorrow has been out on 4K. It just feels a bit lazy. The artwork's fine, but it's exactly the same artwork that was on the box of the Ultimate Collector's Edition that came out 3 years ago. The discs haven't changed. The extras haven't changed. So you tell me, is a Steelbook worth paying an extra £10 to £15, $15 to $20? Let me know in the comments below. Outside of the packaging, there is no reason to change from that 4K AMRA. And if you have the Blu-ray, well, yes, you may see some noticeable picture improvements, and the Atmos track does improve on one issue with the previous Blu-ray track, which it was really bass heavy right at the start of the film. But apart from that, unless you love the film, and don't get me wrong, the film is still fantastic. It is one of my easy top, well, it's probably in the top 20. It's a very good film and I really enjoy it. Rewatching it for this review, I've really enjoyed it. But unless you really need the Steelbook, I'd personally say stick to the standard AMRA, or maybe wait for it to go in a 2 for sale. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Cue the Credits. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk movies with me. Make sure you do all that YouTubey stuff and like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends who love a time loop movie. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace!